only got one catch, maybe one target in the first half. 3 games this year, you had one catch. Do you feel like you should be getting looked at a little bit more?
Well, Coach Lester does a great job of calling the run plays and stuff like that. So, I mean, he says that he runs the ball so he can open it up for the pass game. But we try to get it going in the first half. But hey, we feel like we got to be taking a lot more shots downfield. But I respect what he's doing and trying to open things up through the run game. So, it's only certain things I can control. So I just go along with the flow.
When you say we feel like we should be taking more shots downfield, do you mean you, the players, Lester, everyone?
Oh yes, Coach Lester. He says we got to take a lot more shots down the field, but he want to establish the run game first. So that's his method. That's what he goes by. So we talk about it every time. We feel like we could run the ball because we have a good O line and stuff like that. So I mean that's his style and we respect it. So we just go with the flow.
What did you think of the cornerback you went up against? Tremaine Washington had something like 9, 10 tackles, pick 6. What was it like going up against him?
Tremaine Washington is a great football player. I played against him my senior year in high school. Just growing up, I used to watch him a lot, watch film on him. He's a real good kid off the field as well. So wasn't no surprise. Knew that he was a real good cornerback. I was really watching a lot of film on him this week because I knew it was going to be a great matchup. But he's an exciting player. Make a lot of tackles, not afraid of nothing. So I just was blessed to go up against a corner like that, a real good corner. So
I apologize, you asked this already, but what did you kind of see on that play with Eric, and what's your feeling on him being in the game and him getting the opportunity to play 41% scorer?
Oh well, Eric, he's a fearless guy. Running the ball all the time. I just respect him as a kid. He made a couple of mistakes, but looking at the positive side, at least he's getting the experience, and he's growing from this a lot. Just seeing how much he matured over the past couple of weeks is amazing. We take this loss as a team. We don't point fingers. We don't blame anybody. There's a couple of plays that I felt like I could have made a lot more. Blocking wise. But it's just tough, and we're just growing as a team. I respect the kid, and he's just growing a lot. I'm just glad to see him grow.
2 more Zaire. We saw Coach Lee talking to you and the linebackers after the game. I assume that happens for most games. What's the message to the group after such a tough loss?
It was sort of along the lines of, what I said last week. He was just kind of saying, don't let your standards slip, because of the tough times we're going through, and how you react in the tough times is going to make the good times feel that much better. And he was just telling us that, despite everything that's going through, he's going to continue to give us his best effort. All he can ask is for us to continue to do the same.
Okay. You said after the Virginia game that, obviously that was a really disappointing loss, but all the goals are still attainable. I mean, how do you feel now, and how do you kind of keep moving on in the season on this?
I mean, we sit at 3-6 now. Got the number 1 team in the nation coming in next week. And we got to win 3 in a row. That's our goal. You got to take it one game at a time.
Zaire, being one of the captains, what's kind of your message to these guys, because you're dealing with all this?
I mean, just to keep working. Kind of what, me and Coach Lee talk a lot, and it's just you can't let your standards slip regardless of what happens. Meaning, like, if you down 3 touchdowns, you can't just stop running to the ball, stop doing what you're supposed to do just because things are not going well. You know what I mean? So, and, when you lose, this many games in a row, you're in this skid, just because things are going bad, things easily can flip at any point in time. So you just got to continue to keep working, just keep pressuring and be patient that, things will turn around.
Paul?
After the Louisville scored to go 28-10, you were trying to stand right over the quarterback, looking toward the end zone. What was kind of going through your mind then?
It's just like those type plays. I always feel like I'm so close, but like I'm never close enough. I came free like right up the A gap and out with a full speed and I seen it and I dove and I gave him every ounce, every 230 of me, all 230 of me right in his chest, but he still put the ball right where he wanted to, and it was just disappointing. That I don't know that happened.
Time for 2 more questions from front.
What goes through your mind, or how do you prepare when, Coach Schaefer said you guys prepare for all 3 QBs, but when you prepare a lot for Jackson and he's supposed to be the starter, and then out walks a kid who's made one start and he's only played in 3 games. How do you change your preparation when the guy who's coming in mostly throws the ball, but the guy that you thought would start mostly runs the ball?
Well, it's tough. You know, that's kind of happened to us 2 weeks in a row now with like kind of the whole little quarterback, you know, jumble thing going on. But for us, really, I don't really feel as though – I think our game plan did change, like, immediately once we realized that, all right, 14 is the guy, not 8. But, you know, I think he has a similar style to a lot of other quarterbacks we played, like Wake Forest, Wolford, when we played him, he got, like, kind of similar style. And it's kind of – we kind of just went to our base rules to kind of handle that. But it's tough when the teams keep just, like, switching quarterbacks. And you kind of – we came in preparing to play 8 and – you know, they play 4. I don't think 8 touched the field at all.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Last question, Steven?
Looking at the defense over the course of the year, do you feel like you guys are getting better?
I mean, well, it's tough to say that when you keep losing games by larger margins. But, yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like how young we are, and a lot of my best learning experiences wasn't in the film room. It was kind of like out in the field. So, you know, I think a lot of guys are taking that next step. I think Witt had a great game today. I think he played really well. You know, we got young guy Davon in there. You know, obviously, you know, Cordy and, you know, guys like Stephen Clark. Or you could just see those guys taking their game to the next level, making more plays when before they were just like just a solid person to fill this hole. Well, now they're out there and they're being playmakers. You know, I think Witt had Cordell, he's getting better. You know, and my own self and Hodge and JT. So we are getting better. You know, but just the games aren't going our way.